Final Fantasy VII Remake is finally coming to PC as an Epic Game Store exclusive. Welcome to Risky Business, I'm Dan, and as you probably already know, I don't like Final Fantasy VII Remake. So you're probably wondering why I care about this, and I care about it for a lot of reasons. So after 20 months, Final Fantasy VII Remake is finally coming to PC, and this is going to be the Intergrade version, a port of the expanded PS5 version that includes all of that additional content. I already put out a video about two videos actually about Final Fantasy VII Remake and how I think it's terrible, and I got torched by probably one of the most toxic communities that is out there. I had critical videos that were just saying, look, here are things about the game that I think are really bad, and in 2021 a AAA title shouldn't have these problems. And I got my butt chewed out by a lot of very passionate people. Can we all just do better? Could we all just do a little better and like not be jerks to each other? Could we do that in the video game world? As you can tell, I don't have a video this week, so I'm just doing like a quick, kind of vlog piece. I don't have a script. I'm just reading off based on some bullet points that I had for this conversation. Look, there have been a lot of positive reviews of this game. It's had a very positive fan reaction for the most part. And I've had quite a few people tell me, listen, give it another chance. It's not a bad game. And I was told that the Japanese voice acting is better. So if I play in Japanese with subtitles, it'll be a better experience from that perspective. The graphics and textures will be better because they improve some of the poor quality textures when they release the PS5 versions. Of course, all the extended content will be there, and it will be on my preferred platform. Those things kind of made me want to give it another shot. If there are issues, the modding community is almost definitely going to fix them. And I think that there are going to be issues. But first, can we talk about the Epic Game Store exclusivity deal? I have a big problem with that, and I did a whole video about that. This is a deal with the devil. I mean, Epic has lost hundreds of millions of dollars doing these deals because they have to pay out these minimum guarantees. Square Enix probably thinks they're safe doing this because they're going to get paid probably something like Control was $10.45 million. They're probably going to pay Square Enix a lot more than that as a minimum guarantee for this game. Epic Games does not care if they lose hundreds of millions of dollars doing this, because they have no other ideas. Publishers like Activision and CD Projekt Red have publicly criticized this exclusive practice. It's bad for gaming, it's bad for PC gamers, it's bad for the industry, it's bad for the publishers that make the deals, and it's bad for Epic Games themselves. I want to clarify a few things because people still want to argue with me about this online, which I find ridiculous. I don't care that it's a different launcher. I've used different launchers before. If I have to use something from a different launcher, I'll use Playnite, where you put everything in one spot. I'll use Launchbox. I don't really care about using a different launcher. That's not my problem. And it's not out of loyalty toward Steam or loyalty toward Valve. Yes, look, if we're going to be real honest, Valve has been really, really good to PC gaming and to PC gamers. People want to try and argue the point and make it out like Valve is also a big evil corporation. And yeah, I guess to a degree they probably are, but they've never screwed us the way that Epic is trying to screw us now. It's never happened. You can pretend it happened, you can act like it happened, or make up stories that it happened, but it's never happened. It's a ridiculous comparison. But it's not even about that. It's not even about being loyal to Valve or being loyal to Steam. I don't care about company loyalty. There are lots of companies, and none of them are loyal to you. You know what I mean? They're there to make money. They're businesses. That's what they're there to do. And if they're going to be a business and they're going to make money, they have to win your business somehow. Not by bullying you and forcing you to do business with them because they have no other idea what to do to try to get your business. My major problem is that this is a practice that is harmful to the industry and to the consumer. And here's a hard truth. If you don't understand why Epic Game Store exclusives are bad for the industry and for the consumer, then you need to take an introductory level economics course. Just an introductory level college economics course so you can understand the basic economics of why this is a bad thing. I'm not coming out with crazy stuff out of left field with this. I'm not talking out of my ass here. I'm basing these opinions and these points of view on the Epic Game Store on solid, foundational, fundamental principles of economics. It's not like I'm some sort of crazy weirdo because I don't like buying stuff from Epic Games. No, I'm a rational person who understands how Hamstringing competition in any marketplace is harmful to that marketplace and to its consumer base. And it's not a hard concept to understand. It's based on objective facts. Now, you can disagree with me if you want, but if you're going to disagree with the fundamental point that stifling competition is bad, you're objectively wrong. And that's a hard truth. If you're going to sit there and say that only having a product available from a single seller and nobody else is not bad for the industry, not bad for consumers, if you're actually going to make that argument, you are objectively wrong. And if you were to turn that in on your homework in an economics class, you would get an F. It's objectively wrong. So being that I don't even like Final Fantasy VII Remake, why do I care so much about this? Well, the reason why is that it sets a really bad precedent, because it looks like Square Enix is planning to go this way with Stranger of Paradise also, which is a game that I'm also interested in, but I don't want to have to buy it from Epic Games Store. Not because I specifically dislike their interface or their store, but because I don't want to be forced to have to buy it from one specific place. And if they keep doing this, it's going to hurt us in a lot more ways than just that, because what's going to happen is a lot of other PC gamers like myself aren't going to buy it. And then Square Enix is going to think it's just not selling well. So then finally, when it gets released on other stores and it starts selling a little bit, a lot of interest will have been lost by then. They're not going to get full price for it. And then what do you think Square Enix is going to decide? They're going to decide it's not worth their money to port these games to PC at all. If you look at their approach to porting their games to PC, most of the time we get these like half-assed ports. It's almost like they begrudgingly made them. In fact, I'm pretty sure they outsource most of them to the cheapest developer possible, because we wind up with these terrible half-assed ports. Nier Automata was such a bad port, an amazing, wonderful, beautiful game, but the worst port possible. Final Fantasy 13 and 13.2 had a number of issues that required modding to fix. Final Fantasy 15 has a stuttering issue that they have absolutely no intention of ever fixing. I read it was only on the Steam version, so I went and bought it on the Windows Store, and the Windows Store version has the same problem. What happens when they release it only on the Epic Games Store and it doesn't sell? What do you think that's going to do to Square Enix and their opinion toward porting their games to PC at all? So now I have to ask the question, is this port even going to be any good? The early screenshots look promising, but those are taken probably under the best possible conditions, and who's to say they didn't touch them up? The requirements for the game are shockingly low. I thought the PS5 was supposed to be more powerful than a mid-range gaming PC, but the recommended specs for this are a GTX 1080 or an RX 5700. So we're talking like 2 generations old graphics cards. No, an i7 3770 recommended, or a Ryzen 3 3100, which aren't really super beefy processors either. I guess the i7 3730 is pretty beefy. Still, recommended i5 3330. I mean, it's not too bad. So I'm a little skeptical that we're going to get, PS5-like performance out of last year's mid-range gaming PC. So look, I'm probably not going to buy this game, right? I already bought the collector's edition for $100. I'm not going to pay full price a second time for a game I don't even like. And I'm absolutely not going to buy any game that's only available from one store, because there's no excuse to do that. I'm not going to give my money to companies that are involved with that. December 16th is not the true release date. The true release date is when it's available from more than one store, and when the community fixes all the problems the port is probably going to have. Now, I might get egg on my face, and this might be a fantastic port, but if it is, that'll be the first time Square Enix has ever done that. A note to Square Enix. This is what you're up against. While there are some people out there who are unwilling to accept the reality of the harm that the Epic Games Store exclusives are doing to the PC gaming market, many of us outright refuse to do business with it. Most of us are going to wait before we can buy it from another store. Of those who wait, most of them are going to be waiting for sales. Your numbers in the beginning are going to be bad. In 2 years, you'll probably sell a lot of these, but do you want to wait 2 years before you start making your money back? By taking the Epic Games Store exclusivity deal, Square Enix is complicit in their continued assault on PC gamers and the PC gaming industry as a whole. Just say no to Epic Games Store exclusive deals and Square Enix PC ports until they earn your business. Don't let them bully you into giving them your money. Don't accept substandard, half-assed, cheap outsourced PC ports, or a store that refuses to compete with other stores. You deserve better. You work hard for your money. Shouldn't they? If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like and subscribe, enable notifications. I'll be doing more vlogs like this going forward, especially when I don't have anything planned for that particular week. If you'd be so kind as to leave a comment, either supporting, or if you want, you can try and refute some of the points I made here, but it's just facts. But in any event, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, game over.